And welcome to this No You Shut Up special report. I'm Paul F. Tompkins. On this week's program, Patton Oswalt is here to celebrate Canadian Easter, and Hot Dog speaks with a real politician. Now, this is our last special episode before we come back for the real deal on February 4th, 2016. Of course, the election will be our focus next year, and our Clockmander-in-Chief is still counting down the seconds until the election. Now, after we debuted the Clockmander-in-Chief last week, some viewers noted that although its appearance allows for the next president to be either a man or a woman, its hand color allowed only for a Caucasian winner, and our next POTUS could indeed be a person of color. Well, we heard you, and consider it fixed. With that, it's time to see what's cooking with our continuing election coverage. This is Shut Up the Vote 2016. Joining me this week, conservative Christian Star Schlesinger.
It is a pleasure to be here.
Human rights activist Barry Fine.
Namaste.
And undecided voter Dwayne Johnson.
Hey, Paulie!
Welcome to the show, everyone. Let's begin. Ben Carson finally found out that he's running for president, and he's not fond of the media scrutiny that comes with it.
I do not remember this level of scrutiny for one President Barack Obama when he was running. This is a witch hunt. Next week, it'll be my kindergarten teacher who said I peed in my pants.
Panel, two-part question. Are we vetting Ben Carson too harshly, and did Ben Carson make yellow in his kindergarten pants?
The pee-pee in Ben Carson's kindergarten pants has more integrity than any of the Democratic candidates. Did Ben Carson get all stabby? Did Ben Carson take a hammer to his mother's head? Maybe. But why isn't anybody talking about the chapter in Bernie Sanders' biography about how he likes being choked during intercourse?
Oh, is that true?
Nope. But now it's out there.
Paul, the right loves to play the victim when they get asked questions they don't like. Ben Carson is only under this level of scrutiny because his stories are fucking crazy.
Hey, so he stabbed somebody with a hammer. Big deal! Show some respect! This guy could be our first blind president.
Oh, he's not blind. The vetting process has also found its way into Ben Carson's home, where his wife sleeps, where his children play with their toys.
One British newspaper revealing an inside look at Carson's Maryland home, describing it as an homage to himself, complete with paintings of Carson, one over the fireplace, another side by side with Jesus.
I mean, when are we all going to just admit this man isn't a viable presidential candidate? Clearly, he is just running to be the next pundit on Fox News.
Why, he's not viable because he's best friends with Jesus and they took a photograph together?
No, because he's crazier than a house rat.
Hey, what's a blind guy need with pictures on the wall? What's he looking at?
He's not blind. I think he just closes his eyes a lot. But let's move on. We're very excited to be debuting something new on this special report. It's a word cloud, a visual representation of how often words are used when speaking about a particular topic. The bigger the word, the more frequently it occurs. It's nothing but informative, which is why we had one made to show us what words the American internet is using most when it talks about the election. Let's see it. Wow, look at this. You're welcome, America. Okay, obviously, election is very big. That makes a lot of sense. People are talking about the election. But what about this here, panel? Gunk. Gunk is very large. The word gunk, what could that mean? Any guesses?
Paul, obviously the phrase gun control got cut off by the word GoPro. Gun control is a very big issue, especially in swing states like Nevada and Virginia.
Barry, I do think gun control is a worthy issue, but it is not represented here in the cloud. So I'd ask that you stop discussing it. We're talking about gunk.
Hey, you know what I think we gotta really talk about is how gunk is bigger than Paul Ryan. I mean, that is one great-looking Speaker of the House. He's hunky. He's spunky. He's certainly not gunky.
Well, this is what people are saying. The Paul Ryan, very small, gunk, very big.
Paul, I'd like to point out that Sugar Man in California, what is that? Some sort of mark of the beast because it's California where they do hoodoo voodoo?
Oh, yes, right here. This is the shruggy guy from the internet. It's you see it on a lot of social media. And I think maybe it's a visual representation of election fatigue among younger voters.
This gets me real cheesed. What do they gotta be fatigued about? How dare these young people mess up the cloud with their dumb cartoons? The cloud is supposed to help voters make decisions, and this is a slap in the face to Americans who use words to talk. I don't want to use 140 characters I have more to say.
It's okay, Dwayne. It's okay.
Okay.
Paul, I hate to say this, but this segment seems like a real waste of time. There are so many issues out there that we should be discussing. Like, why are there no log cabin Republicans representing the LGBT community? You can't
Barry, I'm sorry. I must ask you one final time not to disrespect the cloud, okay? Oh, look, Candy Carson, Ben Carson's wife, got in there. Well, Candy has certainly earned her place in the word cloud. I'm a little jealous. I bet it's great in there.
Hey, Paul.
And that's all for this week's Shut Up the Vote 2016.
Oh, say does that star-spangled
Made it. Joining me now is a man who can do it all. Comedy, tweets, actor, comic book. The one and only Patton Oswalt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
President Patton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Patton.
Wait, hang on one second.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Well, Patton, I simply must ask, you had a bunch of circumstance in there, a little pomp. What's going on?
Well, Paul, I've been following the GOP presidential campaigns, and I mean, it's clear to me that to become a candidate, you don't need experience or humanity. So I said, why not? I'm throwing my hat in the ring, and I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. You know, Paul,
Patton, I'm still doing takes.
Okay, sorry.
Patton, hold on. How you president? Huh? What?
Paul, you'd better get ready to patten down the hatches.
Patton, you're running for president, but you've never held any kind of office. What makes you think that you're presidential material?
Well, I'm controversial. I say what I feel or what I hear in the bleachers at women's wrestling competitions.
Oh, now, Patton, I'm afraid that doesn't seem very politically correct.
Well, political correctness is the #1 problem facing America today. I say what I want, and people love it. And guess what? I don't even want to be president. President is gross.
Well, so now you don't want to be president.
Well, I do, but I don't. Look, I just should be president. I mean, look, if you're a fan of gridlock, red tape, swine flu, trees falling on kids, don't vote for me. I'm Patton Oswalt, and I give no hoots.
Oh, are you all right there?
I thought there'd be a little more for my foot.
The desk was supposed to be a little bit shorter.
Oh, okay.
What is the first thing you'll do as president in office you openly disdain?
Well, I'm going to illegalize terrorism to show my soft side.
I think it may already be illegal, but better safe than sorry. Have you given any thought to a VP choice?
Oh, my vice president will be the entire cast of Duck Dynasty. And the dentist that killed Cecil, the lion.
So roughly half a dozen people.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
You may have a problem there constitutionally.
Paul, I'll change the Constitution, and then I'll eat the Constitution and absorb its power.
Interesting. Well, Patton, now that you're running for president, I have to ask you about your association with...
Healthy Sprazy. All right, it's the spray made of deer antlers and monkey hooves. Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. Yes, all right, I have nothing to do with Healthy Sprazy. I just use their amazing product on a thrice daily basis and have been paid millions of dollars to not endorse it. Look, it's not my fault that this spray makes your bones more jiggly.
Speaking of skeletons, and you were kind of after a fashion, there must be some in your closet, Patton, and we have questions specifically prepared for anyone seeking office. Patton Oswalt, you have entered the Gotcha Dome. Our first question comes from Barry Fine.
What's the worst thing you've ever done? Please be explicit, and extra points for details.
Okay, come on. Everyone knows I was married at 8 years old, right, to a 40-year-old woman. We went on a murder spree, but just pets, mostly iguanas. And we burned down a laundromat. But again, you all knew that.
We do now. Next Gotcha question, Star Schlesinger.
Patton Oswalt, where do you stand on abortion?
I think I saw a video where Planned Parenthood stuck electrodes in a baby and it powered a clock. Well, I will not do that. I will instead frack them for their oil.
Next question, Dwayne Johnson.
What are your tax policies, you son of a bitch?
Well, you do the math. 100 plus 200 plus 300 plus 1,000. How much is that?
1600.
That's the address of the White House. Case closed.
An address that changes all the rules.
Amen. I'm a Bible man.
Well, we checked in with the real-time polls, and since this interview started, Patton Oswalt, you have skyrocketed to a 15% lead. Any closing thoughts?
Oh, see y'all at Hooters, losers.
See you at Hooters, losers. Coming up, a phone call from another presidential candidate. More when this No You Shut Up special returns.
Hooray. Thank you. Thank you.
This October saw the first ever Politicon, with comedians, politicians, and pundits all gathering at the LA Convention Center to discuss and debate the political landscape. For some reason, we sent Hot Dog to Politicon to get our own nice-oo spin on things. Hot Dog, how'd it go?
Well, Paulie Timbali, Politicon was all those words you just said, and more. I learned so much.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Like what? What'd you learn?
Well, there's a congressman who's named Ted Lieu, and I totally grilled him.
Oh, I love a good grill down.
Who doesn't? Chewy, roll the clip. I am standing here with Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu. Representative Lieu, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Is that
Yes,
right?
I'm very excited. My first time talking to a hot dog.
Congressman, let's talk politics. What's the biggest issue facing young voters today?
I think engagement, it would be great if voters would register to vote. And if young people register to vote en masse, that would have a huge game-changing effect in America. If you register to vote, if you help on campaigns, that'll make a huge difference.
Now, en masse, that sounds like a foreign word. What does that mean, Congressman? En masse, is that French?
If a lot of people register to vote, that'll make really a big deal. So my last name is Lieu. It's sort of French-like.
Is that French?
No, actually, it's Chinese, but it could be French, like in lieu of.
Yeah, ni hao. All right, Congressman, finally, I'd like to do a little personality quiz with you. Are you ready to get grilled?
Sure.
Grilled. All right, here we go. First question, what is your favorite hand?
Right.
Worst baby name?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. Good one. Okay, airplane mode or a la mode?
A la mode.
A la mode, good choice. Do you like Baby Bell cheese?
No.
And finally, what is the last time you used Bitcoin to purchase an endangered animal?
I have never done that before.
Fair enough. Congressman, based on your answers, you are House Slytherin. Good job.
A Slytherin, huh? I always thought of Ted Lieu as more of a Ravenclaw. What else happened, Talking Hot Dog?
Well, I'm glad you asked, P.F. Twizzler. As you know, young voters are often accused of not knowing much about the candidates. But I wanted to find out if that was really true. So I used my incredible talent for mimicry to impersonate the 2016 hopefuls and let the voters guess which role I was inhabiting. This is Who Said It? What happens in Benghazi stays in Benghazi.
Hillary Clinton?
Wow, it's the voice, right?
Yeah,
I am super good at impressions.
You got it on point.
I'm a pro-life conservative.
Mike Huckabee.
No, wrong. Uninformed millennial. May I call you a millennial?
I guess I qualify.
Fair enough. I don't actually know what that word means. I am here with millennial Art Jones. Are you ready, Art?
Yes.
All right. My state has the highest unemployment rate in the country, and I eat when I'm sad.
I think I know who has the highest unemployment rate.
I'll give you another hint. His name rhymes with Flisty.
Christie.
No, that's incorrect. Good try, though, Art. Cuba Gooding Jr. once played me in a made-for-TV movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. I look like him, sort of.
I'm trying to remember.
If you're very general. How about this one? I'll give you another one.
Okay.
I once left a sponge inside a patient because I am a doctor running in the election who's Republican. Named Ben. Last impression. I've got a stupid mustache, and I'm the boss of this show, and everybody has to listen to me. Blah, 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 blah.
Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah!
Definitely.
Wow. Not bad, right? Kind of a spot-on impression. I'm Mr. Mustache. I have suits. I talk about the news.
More No You Shut Up when No You Shut Up returns. Hot dog, you're fired.
Ooh, Donald Trump.
It's not an impression, Hot dog, you're fired.
It should be more like, hot dog, you are fired.
Hey,
you gotta get the voice.
Hey, this is real life. You're fired. Steal something. Oh, I have the most boring nanny. Welcome back to our No You Shut Up special report. Most presidential candidates show up in person to TV shows to spread their message, but one contender happens to be too busy, so he often calls in. We're talking, of course, about Donald Trump. So we here at NYSU have a dedicated Trump phone, which we're keeping open in case Donald wants to check in at any point. And we're actually expecting a call any second. Can we get the Trump phone in here? Oh, it's ringing. Donald Trump, hello.
Rosie is a loser.
What's that, Donald? I didn't entirely catch that.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver.
Okay, yes, you're on the record as to your feelings about Rosie O'Donnell. I was hoping to speak about immigration or your Republican rivals.
She came to my wedding. She ate like a pig. And seriously, the wedding cake was like missing in action. I couldn't stand her.
Okay, we're very sorry to hear about the wedding cake, Donald. But you know what? I feel like we're not actually talking to the real Donald Trump, and these are clearly recorded responses from the Trump archives. Let's just find out. A little test. I'm going to ask a question only the real present-day Donald Trump can answer. Mr. Trump, your thoughts on Drake's dance moves in Hotline Bling?
If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
Well, it seems that we have been duped, probably by some neighborhood kids who live near the studio. However, those were real things said by Donald Trump from the annals of time. I'd like to get out of here. I'd like to apologize to our viewers and kind of Rosie O'Donnell, but hopefully we did get that ratings Trump bump. It's time now to open up the NYSU Vault for an episode of our show that aired on September 26th, 1960. In our retrospective segment, No You Look Back.
Welcome back to No You Shut Up. We apologize for the rudeness of the title. It's just that with the threat of the Russian bear at our doorstep in Cuba, we're all a little on edge. Now, let me ask our panel. Will young voters turn out for this election, or will they be too busy listening to their caterwauling nonsense on their portable radios? Mr. Crothers.
Young people may indeed vote in record numbers, inspired by the youthful vigor of Mr. Nixon's opponent.
Mrs. Bramblecorn.
Well, I believe the larger question is, will the Catholic Mr. Kennedy, upon election, build a tunnel to the Vatican and take his orders from Rome?
A valid concern. Mr. Frankfurter, what do you think? Did you say Massachusetts? Sounded like Massachusetts.
Mesopotamia.
I was thinking Mesopotamia, but I don't know if he'd know that word. We will just never know. We'll be right back after this message from Cigarette Brand Liquor. Remember, doctors recommend Cigarette Brand.
Of course, that was after animals had achieved sentience, but before hot dogs had gained the ability to speak. A strange transitional time in our world. Coming up, more of our No You Shut Up special report. Remember, new episodes of our actual show will return February 4th, so start thinking about watching them now. You see, in the original version, Abraham Lincoln shot first. Yeah. Welcome back to our No You Shut Up special report. Remember, new episodes of our show start February 4th, 2016. We'll be covering it all, and something tells me we'll be telling lots of people and things to shut up next year. So, Star, whom do you anticipate telling to shut up in 2016?
Paul, I would like to say shut up to Starbucks and their anti-Christian, pro-sodomite, red holiday drinking cups. However, I'm gonna reserve my anger and imagine that the joyful Christmas image that once blessed these cups was raptured, leaving behind a blood-red chalice perfectly suited for the hands of non-believers left on earth to be disemboweled at the hands of the goat-hard Antichrist. Merry Christmas, sinners!
Oh, that's nice at the end. Dwayne Johnson!
Paul, I'd like to tell DLC to shut up. That's downloadable content, Polly boy. Video game stuff. I already bought Destiny once, so now why do I gotta pay $40 for the same freaking game 8 months later? It's a freaking whip-off! Is that game ever over? When do I know? Half the time, I'm back to the tower, talk to the postmaster, get a message, and then I don't have enough space in my inventory to transfer the engram. What the hell? And then I had to read 20 pages of Reddit posts to figure out what to do with my eloquent and raw...
Dwayne? Dwayne, are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
As for me...
Oh, Paul, I think you may have skipped someone.
No, I didn't skip anyone who still works here. You're fired, remember?
No, but I had another great Trump impression.
Yeah,
Let's all boycott Starbucks. No more grande lattes. I'm the Merry Christmas president. Isn't that good, Paul?
As for me, I'd like to tell the remainder of 2015 and January of 2016 to shut up so we can start our new season already on February 4th. Well, that's all for these No You Shut Up special reports. I'm Paul F. Tompkins, and until next year, you shut up.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs were stinging, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?